Jackson Smith-Njigba versus Christian Gonzalez. Who will win this matchup? I think Gonzo's going to win this matchup. A great cornerback is like a good airline pilot. You don't notice when things are going smooth, but when turbulence hits, the only thing that you can notice is how awful it is, and it makes you worry. It makes you panic. When Christian Gonzalez was the closest defender to the targeted receiver, quarterbacks only completed around 50.9% of passes. That's the second lowest in the league among qualified corners. That shows how good he is in tight coverage, man coverage. And when you have an elite cornerback that can play man coverage, that allows him to glue onto Jackson Smith-Njigba and force Sam Darnold to pass the ball to Jake Bobo, AJ Barner, Cooper Kupp. If you can take Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was the most targeted receiver by percentage of any player in the NFL, that completely changes Sam Darnold's ability to pass the ball down the field. Additionally, Christian Gonzalez allowed the fewest yards allowed per attempt this season. He was tied for first for the fewest yards allowed per target. That shows that when he's thrown at, and he gets thrown at quite a bit, offenses do not get much out of it.
I've been hearing some talk that JSN doesn't perform against top corners. For example, Diamador Lenore. What was the score of that game? Can anybody remind me how that game went for everyone? Who won that game? Oh, right. The Seahawks did. Who still had almost 100 yards? JSN did. This guy is arguably the number one receiver in the league. He's number one in receiving yards. Argue with a wall. For Seattle this season, he has the most 100-yard games, the most receptions. This guy was supposed to be a wide receiver 2 behind DK Metcalf and is now the best receiver in the league. That represents the entirety of this team. I don't care who JSN is playing. I don't care what they try to do to him. He is going to be elite. He might not produce the highest numbers in the world, but he's going to make the plays that matter, and he's going to be there for his team. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, especially if it's Sam Darnold. This team is here to play. They're going to make big plays. They're not just going to survive this game, but they're going to thrive in this game. This team has demonstrated it all season, and I don't think anything is going to change in the Super Bowl.
Next question is, which running back or running back room is better?
Obviously, the loss of Zach Charbonnet this season is not really ideal, considering he's taken 53% of the snaps throughout the games this season. K9 proved himself so far in the playoffs against the 49ers and against the Rams. Against the 49ers, 3 touchdowns, 116 yards. The guy is going off. He's taken 47% of the snaps, and he still has a 1,000-yard season. This guy is so fast. He's so quick. He makes elusive plays. He breaks tackles. He is running through the Rams' defense. He makes so many important plays for this team. And again, I don't think anything is going to change. The Patriots have one of the top rushing defenses in the league, but they haven't faced Kenneth Walker yet.
Listen, K9 might be good, but he doesn't even compare to the duo of Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. You know, running backs are kind of like batteries. They're great when they're fully charged, but once they start draining, there is no fixing it. These are not rechargeable batteries. You just replace them. Young running backs, they're like fresh tires, and that's what we see with Travion Henderson. The grip, the explosion, the confidence. I mean, you give him a few seasons, he might be the best running back in the NFL. And that's not even exaggerating. I think that's exactly what happened, though, here with Charbonnet, is he got burnt out like a battery, okay? He's hard-hitting, he's a physical running back, and his body just gave out on him. And that sucks for the Seahawks, and that puts a lot of stress on K9. But you look at the Patriots, they have 2 running backs. Charbonnet and K9 are very similar to Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre, like Charbonnet, they're that hard-hitting, physical, they get stuff done in the pass game. They're a really good goal line running back. Meanwhile, K9 Henderson, they're that explosive player. They have more speed. They make those nothings turn to something. And that's what the Seahawks don't have and what the Patriots do have. You have Henderson. He's that explosive indicator. This season, he had 45 first downs on 180 carries. That's a 25% conversion rate. And he's getting the ball a lot in, first and 10, second and 10, third and 8. His ability to get those big gains are what is the difference in this game. And then you look at Ramondre. His receiving threat is so crucial. He has 32 receptions with 345 receiving yards. So over 10 yards per reception. For a wide receiver, that's unbelievable. For a running back, that's great for the Patriots. And I think that having that true dual threat back along with the speed of Henderson, I think this makes it an easy case that the Patriots running back room is clearly better here. 2 is greater than 1, and those different play styles that work with each other is just going to be way, way, way better than just K9 alone.
Again, while the loss of Zach Charbonnet is tragic for this team, Kenneth Walker has 46 first downs, 10 runs of over 20 yards, and 1 run of over 40 yards. The dude has 31 receptions for almost 300 receiving yards, averaging about 9.1 yards a reception. He's holding his weight, and he's going to continue to do that.
And the last grand old question, the simplest of them all, who is going to win the Super Bowl? I think it's going to be the Patriots. The Patriots are like a Swiss watch. Anyone that knows anything about Swiss watches, everything is engineered to keep running smoothly, even when something in it breaks, even when something in its environment changes. New players might come in, coaches might come in, the clock is going to keep ticking, and it doesn't matter because when the time comes to perform, it works. You know, the Patriots might not rely on talent, but they rely on execution. Great teams can survive injuries. You know, they can play through a weak schedule. They can deal with some bad breaks, like an injury that happens to Robert Spillane in the first quarter against the Broncos. But it doesn't matter because the watch works. The system wins. It's not driven by a star. Do you see Drake May going out there and winning the game by himself? No, it's a team. The team works, all the cogs work, and the Swiss watch continues to function. I kind of look at it like a Brady-less team, the Brady-less era now. You know, having a Brady-less team is like the CEO of a major company. They step down, but the company just continues to grow. Their stock market continues to boom. Vrabel has brought this team back 20 years in terms of culture. And usually for people going back in time for culture, no one does that nowadays. That's not a good thing. But for the Patriots, it's a return to glory. The playoffs are about who can play mistake-free football under the brightest lights and the most pressure. And that's what the Patriots' specialty is. They don't need the flashy plays. They just need the discipline and execution. And Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, even Zach Kerr, they embody that. Other teams might have stars, but the Patriots have a blueprint to follow that they've already built in the last quarter century. And in the postseason, blueprints beat the flashes every time. And that's why I got the Patriots winning the Super Bowl.
The Seahawks are winning this game, and it's plain and simple. I have not seen a Seahawks team with this much chemistry in a long time. Defensively, offensively, things are clicking. This team is hot. The Seahawks are on a 9-game win streak. Things are clicking. They have played some of the best teams in the league, and they've really showed it every single time they play. Everyone on this team shows up. Almost everyone is healthy right now, minus some major losses with Zach Charbonnet. But this team will make up for those losses. Sam Darnold is going to come to play. K9 is going to come to play. And you sure know JSN is going to come to play. How could you bet against JSN in the Super Bowl? The Seahawks are winning this game. Need I say more?
If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and comment below your takes, and follow us on social media at The Fifth Quarter Media. Thank you for watching.